gentlemen, welcome back to the Wrestling Bubble. This is your AEW Dynamite review. And if you're a new subscriber, please go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Because we always dropping videos, reviews, we go live, we do watch-alongs. Let's get into it. So we start off the night
with Mercedes Moné ambushing Toni Storm. I would say it started off great until Mercedes Moné trying to put her in submission. That looks sloppy. Very sloppy.
Man, look. I like this was a great start to Dynamite, in my opinion. You have Toni Storm and Luther walking. I guess they're like doing the WWE thing, like when it comes on and show people walking up, and then you just have Mercedes Moné out of nowhere just clock Luther and Toni Storm, and then she continues to beat up Toni Storm, throw her into certain things in the back, and she's like, "Yeah, you thought I forgot? You thought I was gonna let that slide from last week
for embarrassing her in front of everybody
at Grand Slam in Mexico City, Mexico." Yeah, so she throws her out on the stage, like where they come out for the entranceway, and then she proceeds to lock on the ugliest, the worst looking, I guess. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a chin lock or it's supposed to be the bank statement or I don't know what that thing is. But can she just do the crossface already? Just like put their arm between her legs and then wrench back on her chin. Like that would make more sense as her submission. Especially like she does that spinning move where she drops him down, kind of like Carmelo Hayes does, right? And then from there, boom, you lock the arm. You pull back like the crossface and let's go. Instead, what she does is she just pulls back on their chin. Their arms, hands, nothing's trapped. They literally can do whatever they want. Yeah, stupid submission. Mercedes, you got to do better than that.
Other than that, we had the EVPs. Young Bucks coming out to, we thought they was going to introduce everybody, but instead they decided to push a Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland match against Lee Johnson and Blake Christian in the first hour instead of the second hour. Man, look, I like that the EVPs did something like this because they're showing like they're basically abusing their power.
Right.
It was funny how Will Ospreay pretty much had to run in the ring and tape up himself and try to lace up his boots. Now, Swerve, he could have just, like, he's trying to put his shirt on, but it's like, dude, that part was pointless to me. You could have just kept it on, trying to lace up your boots, too, or something.
It's like I told you, he's trying to advertise.
Yeah, that is true. It wasn't a nice shirt, by the way.
How else was you going to see it?
Hey,
look, Swerve doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah,
Swerve's house.
That shirt was nice. I'll admit it. I will say that I like what the EVP is doing. Maybe not everyone likes what they're doing, but I love it. I love that they're showing that they are the EVPs, the AEW. They're basically purposely abusing their power, like who should be a champion, who they want to take the belt off of, whose match they're going to interfere. Mother sucker, who's going to start this match first? And I like that they made Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland start out the match on AEW tonight without, no matter if they was ready or not. Just to show how powerful they are.
Yeah, at first when the Young Bucks were going against the company or whatever, and they did their Meltzer driver or whatever to Tony Khan. And fast forward, they come back from, I don't know if it was injury or whatever. I guess they were suspended. I don't know. But they come back and they want to help Moxley on his quest to cleanse AEW of all the lazy people that don't want anything, dragging it down, making it look bad, etc. I think they have really settled into this role, like, of the authority in AEW, you know what I mean? And then Moxley, I feel like, yes, at first they were not getting reactions or whatever, but all of these guys have heat now. Like, they're all getting massive boos and listen, you gotta get the crowd involved somehow, whether they're cheering or booing. Okay, and they are successfully getting under the crowd's skin, and they're they're showing us, they're proving it because they're booing the hell out of him. You know, Moxley comes out, he's just making faces or whatever. Not he don't even have to talk half the time. It's just boo. I mean, I like. Look, it took it took a year, right?
Yeah.
Whew. And a lot of people I can understand when they're saying, "Man, this drags Dynamite or this is ruining AEW." I get it, but honestly, it's a shame that it took so long because like now everybody's just so over it. But I feel like they finally kind of found their characters when it comes to this whole group and their authority in AEW, etc. Like when they came out to that last pay-per-view and they came out dressed as the founding fathers or whatever. You see what I'm saying? It's
No, honestly, they are making AEW, in my opinion, more interesting. They're making this Moxley taking over AEW interesting, and I would have to give it for the EVPs because if it wasn't for that, I really wouldn't care about AEW too much. But of course,
honestly the same for this match, right? Although I like all four people that were involved in the match, who would have really cared if it didn't have that? Oh, and by the way, your match starts right now.
Exactly.
Like, right? And so now they're in a situation, they don't even have time to prepare, get ready, no nothing. Ospreay's running to the ring, taping his wrist still, okay? His boots, well, he don't actually wear boots.
Shoes, right.
Yeah, his shoes wasn't even tied. I mean, yo, and the crowd loved it, okay? They love Ospreay, whatever. Like, it was a good way to jumpstart the night.
And then you have Swerve looking at Ospreay. You ready? Ospreay's like, I'm ready. I would say watching this match, even though Lee Johnson and Blake Christian didn't get enough offense, but it showed that Ospreay and Swerve make a great team. They have a great chemistry in the ring. I mean, that finisher where Swerve his little house call, and then you have what's it? Will Ospreay hitting his finisher. I mean, for the 1, 2, 3, I mean, I love it. Every minute of it, the crowd was into it. You wouldn't even think this match was for 20 minutes, to be honest.
I'm not sure why they wrestled Blake Christian or Lee Johnson, considering both got the jobber entrance.
I know, right?
But I do like Blake Christian. I like Lee Johnson when AEW first started, when he was like with Cody and everything, and they were calling him Big Shawty or something like that. But like, they haven't did really anything with him. I don't know if he's been stuck on ROH, this whole time. I don't know if that's where Scorpio Sky is, unless he's been released or something. But
still missing.
Yeah. To take him like, the first 2 years of AEW and like put him on TV and have him involved with top people as far as like, who he's at least surrounded by. And then, like, you stick them on Ring of Honor, I guess for reps. I'm not sure. And then, like, you just throw them on TV like this, like we don't know who, like the ones who've been watching for a long time, right? Like from day one, like we know who Lee Johnson is, but it's like we can see that you just literally used them like a enhancement talent. Anyway, like the Swerve and Ospreay really need enhancement talent. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we know they're good.
I think it was just to show their chemistry in the ring and just to build up for All In Texas.
Yeah, because Christian and Johnson would sell good and make them look good, but you know what I mean? It's just like, it's a shame because I don't know. I guess you can't do Speedball and Kevin Knight since they claim they're the best tag team in AEW.
Lord, we didn't want to get started with those. But what I like is how Will Ospreay and Swerve pretty much call out the Young Bucks and basically saying they're going to do a tag team match against the Young Bucks at All In Texas. And when I mean All In, Will Ospreay decided to up the stakes and say he's going to have to, the Young Bucks have to put the EVP jobs on the line.
Wow.
I mean, that's all they got. They ain't got no titles.
Yo, you have to wonder if they lose.
Who's that Tony Khan?
Is that Tony Khan just like, yeah, I'm stripping you guys of those titles.
Yeah, it's like
no longer EVPs.
It's like, okay, if they lose, who's gonna take over? We'll never know.
Is that how Tony Khan puts himself on TV?
Put himself on TV, or is he going to bring in somebody?
Who could it be?
Who knows? Because last time I checked, him and Shane ain't doing too well. Oh.
No chance.
That's what you got. But of course, Swerve want to go the extra mile and dive off the top and attack all the security guards, which will cost him a week off of AEW with no pay. There goes the ratings. Thank you. Thank you, Young Bucks. Thank you so much. So we switch over to commercial break. Basically, explaining how we have Okada reintroducing the Young Bucks to the boring Don Callis family, because they pretty much is messing up Kaneshiki. Takeshita, my bad.
When it comes to the Don Callis family, I don't know if y'all are watching, probably about 2 months ago now, when Don Callis basically reintroduced the Don Callis family. He's like, they cut the fat, right? It was just Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher.
Perfect.
And the presentation was like, okay, they're serious. They're going to be vicious, whatever, right? These are two young guys, very talented, could be top guys in the company, could be world champs. And then they stick. What? I don't even listen. One of the guys from the Trent Beretta, right? From the best friends, from the conglomeration, right? From all these groups that sucked. He puts. What's the other guy? Rocky Romero.
Whatever he wants to call himself.
Right. Okay. A New Japan guy. Whatever. Okay. Not presented as a top guy or nothing like that at all in AEW. And I know there's at least one more, because there's way too many people in this group now.
Oh, the guy with the long hair. Lance Archer.
Lance Archer.
Yep.
That should be enough said right there.
Lance Archer still.
If y'all been watching AEW for years, okay, y'all already know what time it is when it comes to Lance Archer in this company. Okay, and in New Japan, he's a beast, right? But in AEW, nothing more than enhancement talent. But I can't tell you the last time he won a match.
You know what I did like after this promo? You have Takeshita letting Okada know this is just a temporarily. So the
bitch.
No, you just have Okada looking at him like, yeah, okay. But I don't know. Are they trying to make Takeshita be babyface or something?
Takeshita, honestly, he started out as a babyface in AEW, and the crowd loves him. They love him regardless if he's heel or babyface. Honestly, and he could, with the right booking, he could be a vicious heel, but at the same time, a babyface is just so natural with him.
Right. Like,
you want to cheer him. And he's really good with, like how Daniel Bryan always has his comebacks and stuff, know. He's really good with that because he can sell his ass off. And I feel like Takeshita's flawless in the ring, honestly. He's like some of the best selling in all of wrestling.
I just don't like how they're booking him right now. Like
of
he
course.
Doesn't matter.
He hasn't been booked this was before he even signed with the company. They had him lose to Omega and all these other people. Okay. And then once he was signed, I think after 2 more losses, he started winning matches. Finally. Okay. The fact that he wasn't already contending for a world championship in AEW as soon as they signed him, that already lets you know they weren't going to book him right.
Nope.
There's no reason why Takeshita isn't a top guy in AEW. But that's a whole nother video right there. All right, so yeah, we got the Kota Ibushi and Trent Beretta, right?
You don't need to talk too much.
Who do y'all think's going to win this?
Of course, Kota.
Kota Ibushi just came back from injury. Ask me what injury? I don't know. I didn't care enough to look into it. So, we knew Kota Ibushi was going to win this. It's Trent Beretta. Zero charisma.
So moving on from that match, we just skipped to the part where the Rainmaker made his way down to the ring to confront Okada. That's his name, right? Okada?
Kota Ibushi.
Okada Ibushi, my bad. And newsflash, they're gonna be fighting each other next week for his title. I mean, are we surprised?
I mean, it should be a good match, but
Oh, most definitely.
come on. Hello, All In
I
exists,
just
right?
hate
You got Kenny and Okada. Of course, Ibushi's not gonna win.
exactly. That's what I'm like. I don't know why. See, this is when I don't
This is
like
why.
AEW.
I already know. At least this is what should happen. Okay, we know Kenny's out, right? Hasn't like is he suspended or hurt or whatever? He's
you know,
but
he's
out.
hurt because of his
Okay,
attack.
like supposed to be ribs or something.
Right.
Okay, so oh yeah. He was on the stretcher and he got the elbow from Okada. All right. Ibushi just came back. You know Okada is a menace. They're gonna have a match. What, 1 week before All In?
Yep.
He's about to destroy Ibushi.
That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If they book it that way, like it's supposed to be booked. Okay, but he's supposed to destroy Ibushi to the point where I mean, this is gonna be cinematic gold if they do this right. At All In, you know how they play the videos, the recap leading up to the match. If they do that right, Okada is gonna look like such a beast. It's gonna scream babyface for Kenny because we know Kenny is not good on the mic at all. So he's gonna need this video to sell it. Because if they play back the promos that they did before, we just skip all that, show some New Japan old footage, and ring the bell. But yeah, I feel like this isn't so much about the wrestling match between Okada and Ibushi, which is supposed to be a big deal because they got history or whatever, right? In New Japan. But this should be a straight up beating from the jump. And I feel like he should have Don Callis' family involved in that somehow since he's been
I feel like they
teaming
should
up
be
with them.
involved after the match.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't even be a match though. You get what I'm saying? It should be like 5 minutes of some wrestling.
Only you wish.
Ibushi getting the better of Okada, and Okada's just like, you know what, screw it. And then the beatdown commences. And that's when you have whoever's gonna be involved in the beatdown, all of them come out. And of course he taunts Kenny and talks trash or whatever. We know Kenny and Ibushi have history, golden lovers or whatever in New Japan and wherever else. So that's just gonna give Kenny Omega so much more motivation to beat Okada. I feel like they're pretty much telling us who's gonna win at this point.
So we're just because this is to unify
the
belts.
Yes.
So we already know
Kenny's gonna be the first unified champion.
That's what it's most likely looking toward. Oh God, there goes Okada's title reign. And then a quick little backstage promo from Moxley, basically letting us know that he will be choking out Adam Page, and he is not taking the title from him at All In Texas. So just find a new job because wrestling is not for you. Another backstage interview we have is with Renee, where she's with AR Fox, letting him know that he has been getting some momentum. But before she continued that interview, we have Ricochet. He didn't want to fight AR Fox. He just want to offer him opportunity to tag with him against Jet Speed. But of course, Ricochet over here playing mind games because he also is trying to make a group so he can also be chasing the gold. And of course, that would be our next match. Ricochet and AR Fox versus Jet Speed. I am not a big fan of Jet Speed. They look like a bunch of kids that's trying to play cosplay, in my opinion. But I will say they are very entertaining to an extent. Jet Speed is, let me just start off with Mike Bailey is not a believable champion. He is too small. And I hate that, was it the other dude?
Kevin Knight.
I hate that they have him next to Mike Bailey. Especially he turned down WWE to be a single wrestler, and now they just stuck him in a tag team.
Yeah, exactly. Because when he came in, he was just wrestling singles matches.
Right.
Okay. Even when they did the, I don't know, it was like $800,000.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that they had him in a group That was the first time. I think it was like a 8-man match. And he said like maybe 2 lines. He was like, I'm gonna spend mine at or I'm gonna go to Magic City. Like that was his only line in it. So already he's in the group. He's not talking much at all. This is already starting out bad.
Exactly.
Like he's supposed to be, honestly, when I was watching this, and just ever since Ricochet started doing this whole look for partners or whatever to compete against all these other groups in AEW, first thing I thought was, well, if you was gonna have Kevin Knight in a tag team or in a group or something like that, Ricochet, obviously, right? Like that. And then you gotta get like 2 heavies in there. Like 2 big guys, Big Bill. And then somebody else. Who's that or somebody else? I don't know.
Who knows?
But, I mean, Lance Archer would have probably... No. No. He's damaged goods.
He looks too boring.
And then Hobbs is already over there in the ops. So that ain't gonna happen. Takeshita's tied up. Kyle Fletcher's tied up. I don't know. Maybe it's a 3-man group.
It can be. But of course, we had Jet Speed for the win because Ricochet decided to leave AR Fox on his own against Jet Speed. And then you have Kevin Knight hitting his UFO for the win. I actually like that finish.
Yeah, that UFO splash. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It looks good, but
it's original.
Instead of Jet Speed taking the win and get out of the ring, they decide to talk their trash that they want a tag team title shot against the Hurt Syndicate. Bruh, you have a better shot for a mid-card belt than going against the Hurt Syndicate.
You know what? He's got a better shot of going through a table on AEW Dynamite.
And that's exactly what the Hurt Syndicate decided to do. They decided to come out and hurt people and take care of some business. Because remember, last week, they had an upper hand against the Hurt Syndicate, making them look like a bunch of punks. So the Hurt Syndicate decided to show them, basically put the Jet Speed in their place to let them know what time it is. Y'all are not getting a title shot. Y'all are not going to be coming over here asking for a title shot. We do business. We'll let you know when you get a title shot, and it's not going to be anytime soon. Man, they put them to that table like it was no tomorrow. What I didn't like was MVP saying they're laid out, but they was already gone. They can't even show the camera. If they can
manage to stand up, and I'm like, yo, they already moved them.
So why?
Because of this terrible camera angle they had.
It was so bad. Like when they play the Hurt Syndicate music, you know, they're supposed to get a wide shot instead you're getting a side shot. Like what happened?
Like when MJF's in the ring and he falls to his knees and everything. They're on the side. They're like staring at the entranceway.
I'm like, the Shelton Benjamin fell or something? Like what happened?
So the entire time you can see Jet Speed like laying on the floor on top of the tables or whatever. It wasn't until like MVP starts talking. They're still on the floor at this point. But when he gets to the part where he's talking about if they can manage to stand up, yo, they were already gone. The only thing you saw in the aisle was the table, but they were already gone. So I'm like, well, does that mean they got a shot? Because they already got up.
Right. And I guess like MVP decided to announce that when Jet Speed gets up, which they was already up, that they will have a title shot all in. Lord. I mean, I like that y'all giving people chances to go against you guys, but really, who's going to take the belt off of them?
It shouldn't. It should not be them.
Exactly.
That's all. Like it shouldn't be them. Look individually. Like I didn't like Speedball Mike Bailey at first. I saw him in TNA or whatever, but like I didn't really. He just felt like wrestling guy that does like karate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's literally it, right? So fast forward. I think he fought Okada, right? Like at the last pay-per-view, or okay. I like that to the point where I was like, okay, I can tolerate Speedball Mike Bailey. I think he's good at wrestling, you know. He can wrestle some good matches, whatever, because he's got some unique moves, whatever, or at least the way he does them, like they look pretty cool. So I was like, okay, I get the thing about Speedball Mike Bailey, but what I don't like is the fact that you stuck him in a damn tag team. Because Kevin Knight on his own, we have no idea what that looks like. because he only wrestled like 2-3 matches before you stuck him in a group, then you stuck him in a tag team.
Yep.
Okay. He didn't have time to develop like a character for us to. We still don't know nothing about him. We don't know no background, no nothing. We don't know anything about Kevin Knight because he never talks. If he does, it's like 2 lines or whatever, and he's done. So I think this is just a really bad start to the career in AEW for Kevin Knight. I feel like Tony Khan basically rushed him on TV without a plan for him.
Of course.
Just so he could like say, hey, he signed with AEW, not WWE.
That's pretty
you know
much
what I mean? And I feel like he's just trying to like figure out what to even do with them. So he just stuck him in the tag team.
Yeah, so I don't want to spend too much time on Jet Speed, but bro, y'all ain't getting no time. Y'all ain't winning them titles. Y'all can keep dreaming. But then you have MJF pretty much letting everyone know that he wants his AEW World Championship back, and now hit their music. But before they hit their music, we have Reach for the Sky, boys. We have Mark Briscoe letting MJ know that he is talking too much. Production said to wrap this up because he's next to wrestle. And you know what? It's so sad how they made MVP and MJF let Mark Briscoe know. What is the point of rushing us off the ring just to see Mark Briscoe look up to the sky and get pinned for 1, 2, 3 because he hasn't won any matches.
Yeah.
That was pretty dirty.
Fancy way of calling him a loser.
Pretty much. I was like, God dang, I had to go there.
Just basically to sum it all up, Mark Briscoe comes out. He's trying to be as polite as he can as he insults everybody. MJF in particular says MJF has a kosher pickle, if you know what I mean. And he still didn't end up getting beat down by the Hurt Syndicate.
Not yet.
They let him, yeah, exactly. Like they let him have his match or whatever. So there's that. And that match was a Casino Gauntlet 4-way match between Mark Briscoe, Bandito, Roderick Strong, and Konosuke Takeshita.
So this gauntlet match was for a number 1 spot. Which
honestly, we could just skip to the end of this.
Yeah, Mark Briscoe won. Oh my gosh, he shocked the world.
Yeah,
didn't really care for that match. And then we had another Casino Gauntlet number 1 spot 4-way for the women's. Willow, Chris Statlander, Thunder Rosa, and Athena. Athena has made her way from Ring of Honor, y'all, and found her way at AEW Dynamite.
Hold on now, because she still got that belt.
I mean, like I'm saying, like they actually put her back on AEW.
No, which we all appreciate, but she still got that title. So, another appearance by Athena. How long she gonna stay? Who knows?
Yeah, she'll be gone for another month.
Exactly.
But this is pretty much just to show that looks like Chris Statlander is not getting a push. Let's not get too far from there. But it's just to show that she might be going to the dark side with Jon Moxley.
You love to see it.
I actually would like to see how that goes.
Yeah, Chris Statlander won the match. Okay.
Surprising.
And it was because Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta came out to basically like distract and attack Willow, but Wheeler Yuta tries to I don't know if he went to punch or clothesline Willow. She ducks that, whatever. And Chris Statlander basically capitalized off the distraction. Hits Willow with that Saturday Night Fever or whatever she calls it.
Sit on Willow.
It's like a jumping tombstone power driver. And it looked brutal. Yeah, so she got the 1, 2, 3. Chris Statlander moves on. Her and Marina Shafir basically stare at each other for a little while after the match. Almost like, I smell what you cooking. And then they move on.
And then we had a quick little backstage segment that no one doesn't care. That Stokely is letting us know that FTR will be calling out the Outrunners at AEW Collision. Oh my gosh, we have to watch it. Ain't nobody looking for no Outrunners.
Oh my God, this
Ain't
really needed to be on the show.
Nobody looking for no SCR. No, y'all could have did lower. Let me not get started.
This really needed to be on the show.
No. Then we have the main event, Hangman Page versus Beast Mortos.
And listen, when they announced that this was gonna be the main event for this AEW Dynamite,
Disappointed.
that's when everybody turned the channel. They went to sleep. They took a dump. They spent time with their family. Anything besides watch this damn main event. What? The Beast Mortos? The Beast Mortos?
Versus Heyman.
What the? Who asked for this?
Who booked this shit?
Tony Khan, raise your hand.
Oh my gosh.
Who asked for this?
AEW was doing so good for the past few weeks, and then you did this shot.
Like you couldn't help yourself. You had to throw some shit like this on the show.
But I want Beast Mortos on AEW Dynamite.
Who was looking for Beast Mortos? You could have used anybody.
I guess that's
anybody else could have been in this spot.
What happens when you're somewhat dating Mercedes Moné? You get special treatments, huh? I guess.
Clearly, because like who was looking for Beast Mortos?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, mid card, sure, whatever. One of those multi-man matches, okay, whatever. My main event on a Wednesday night.
Embarrassing.
Yo, the show is from 8 to 10.
I think this match was like 5 minutes.
Do you know how many people went to bed early because of this?
They're like, Beast Mortos? Bye. But you end up missing what happened after the match. The lights went off for like 10 minutes, of course. And you had the EVPs giving Adam Page what they call the knee trigger.
Man, big friggin' deal.
I know, right? Like, y'all been could have attacked him since, 2 weeks ago when he said, stay out of his business.
This is why I love YouTube. Cause you just listen. You know what? I'm gonna go to sleep and I catch this little highlight video and we'll go from there. Okay? Because there is no way and no chance that I was gonna miss sleep over this right here. I'm sorry. Nobody asked for this shit.
Well, that did happen. And just to make matters worse, we had the Death Riders making their way down to the ring to give Adam Page a piece of their mind. And they pretty much choked him out with the chain. And everyone's saying, Swerve. They ain't called for Will Ospreay. They were saying, Swerve. Look, guys, Swerve ain't coming out to All In Texas. So you can keep swerving all you want, but he ain't coming out anytime soon to say Adam Page. But instead, we got Will Ospreay making his way down. And then the Hobbs made their way down. But by then, the Death Riders was already scattered out. That looked, to me, I don't know. I wasn't...
Production meeting.
Oh, God, it was terrible. No, it was just bad.
Production meeting. You guys should definitely look into those. Just saying. Consider them. Yeah, so after last week, AEW Grand Slam, which was basically like a big house show or whatever. I mean, but the energy was there. The crowd was amazing. Okay, the show itself was pretty. It was good. I mean, I ain't gonna say it was good, but like, there was definitely 2 matches that I liked from that show, right? Mm-hmm. And all in all, I mean, the overall feel, the energy from the show, it was good. They got like 736,000 rating, so that was one of their highest numbers for a long time. Probably the highest number, honestly, this year. I mean, it's sad but true, but it is what it is. This episode of Dynamite, listen, I'm not one to like really determine if I enjoy something based off of ratings or whatever, right? But I absolutely did not think that this episode was that good at all.
No, it feels like a clown show.
I wouldn't be surprised if they dipped right back into the 500,000. I'm sorry. This episode was not good. There were good things on this episode, but as a whole, no, this ain't it. Like, you cannot come from people saying that like they're starting to like kind of find their way again, etc. They had a 736,000 viewers last week. Like, everybody's talking about how good of a show it was, like as far as the atmosphere, the people, blah blah blah, and then you give us this
garbage.
Come on, man. Be consistent. Listen. Maybe you just need to get rid of some of these pay-per-views and go back to that 4 pay-per-view setup I don't know, man. Look. Is
And
it
also stop rushing stories.
Yeah, like he
just make
they
it
just seem-
build.
just rushing. Just like I said, he was rushing Kevin Knight, rushed the Beast Mortals right into the main event scene. What are you doing? You got MJF right there. You got the Hurt Syndicate right there. Hell, you got Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher right there. What are you doing?
Jesus. I don't know. I mean,
Instead, I get Trent Beretta. Yeah.
Trent, Lord, Trent. I can't even. I ain't got nothing to say about Trent besides he is not a believable heel to me. He's not good in the ring. I'm glad his match was short and sweet, and it's time. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné
Hell
All
yeah.
In. I'm also looking forward to Mina versus Mercedes Moné next week, Wednesday. Unfortunately, it's for the TBS title, and we both know she's not winning it, but it should be still a good match. It's just because Mina is getting her revenge for Tony.
Ooh, now that you say that.
Yeah.
They're not going to do nothing like that, though. Man, look, you remember how Mercedes, she said, let the games begin, right?
Mhm.
Like, she meeting Tony Storm all the way with what
Right.
happened the previous week. Okay. The ultimate, I know you are, but what am I? Or the anything you can do, I can do better.
Or you think Tony's going to cost her the match?
Tony calls her the match, and then Mina, boom, TBS championship. That is the ultimate embarrassment, the ultimate X, Y, and Z. But they ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, because if some people feels like she should lose to Tony Storm for and then start losing her belts. I mean, we'll
Exactly,
just
but
have to
that's
see.
just too predictable. People,
I feel
you're
like it's
booking like Triple H. Okay, if you want it like that, the reason why you figured it out is because it's too obvious.
Mhm.
Like, of course, like that would make sense, right? But the thing that could catch you off guard is like Mina beating Mercedes Moné, and it's because of this little tick for tat that they've had for like the last 2 weeks. Really, it's been a little bit longer than that. It's just for me, it didn't make any sense for her to say let the games begin when she's already been playing mind games with him. You know what I mean? For like at least a month already.
I feel like she's saying that because Mercedes is finally trying to.
Well, they're finally putting hands on each other.
Right, that's pretty much it.
That's what that meant. But the mind games, they've already been playing with each other, like smelling each other, licking faces and whatever.
Weird
Like,
shit.
yeah, okay.
But all we could do is just see. So, I mean, that will conclude our AEW
Mina
Dynamite.
is coming.
And yes, we will be. You're so crazy. And yes, please look out for our All In Texas watch along for July 12th. Oh, I mean, I know
Are we gonna do a predictions video?
we're definitely going to be dropping a prediction video.
Stay tuned for that.
So that will conclude our AEW Dynamite. Once again, this is the Wrestling Bubble TWB. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and don't be shy. Leave a comment. We would love to hear from you, our wrestling fans. Ciao.